Hello and welcome to Chelsea Fan TV. You're here with Kev. I'm delighted to be joined by Fats for your evening show as we discuss the Club World Cup in America. Before we start, I need everybody to smash the likes. I need everybody to subscribe. And also, I need everybody to share this page. End of the day, it doesn't cost you a penny, and we're growing and we want to do more for the channel in the future. So please, just support what we're doing here, and yeah, let's move to the next stage. Fats, how we doing? How's your day been? How's your little time been off? And how you feeling?
I've been great actually. It's been 2 weeks now since I've did a Conference League final trip. Well, 2.5 weeks to be more precise. And
Yeah,
to be honest with you, I'm really glad that we still have football with us today, and the fact that it's been even last week for me, like even though if it's still an international break, and yeah, man, it feels like I'm watching the actual World Cup, like a proper World Cup. But
yeah,
but this time, it's like I'm glad that I'm gonna spend the whole summer just watching the Club World Cup though. And
it's
even though that there
yeah,
was it still takes place in the United States there, but
yeah,
I think there's a bit of split between on how people judging on what the Club World Cup looks like. So yeah,
yeah,
man, I'm looking forward to tomorrow's game as well. But
yeah,
yeah, we're gonna get into a bit more detail.
yeah. Of course, we're going to be covering absolutely everything. We're going to be covering the group stages. We're going to be covering the teams, the format. We're going to be getting into all that shortly. But yeah, it's just for me, like you just touching upon what you said, Fats. It's a bit weird. Like Club World Cup in the summer, and I'm hearing
Yeah.
from a couple of players saying that they need a bit of a break. They're not used to having like 2 weeks off and back into it. But the footballers, end of the day, they get paid a lot of money to entertain. So I think this is what
hmm
they're going to do, unfortunately. So yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it as well. But just feels like after what happened last week with the transfers and what we could have had, feels like we could have gone into the Club World Cup with a stronger team. Obviously, the board of directors obviously missed the trick with Manyan again. I
hmm
feel like the team that we've got, is it going in there? Feels like we're going there to compete. You know, when you see Man City, what they've done last week with their business, when you see Real Madrid, what they've done with their business so far, it feels like Man City, Real Madrid, PSG, they're going to be the favourites for it. But, all we're looking forward to seeing is Chelsea just compete, and hopefully we do. What are your thoughts on last week? Obviously,
Yeah.
um, transfers last week, we missed out on a couple of players, Minyan being one, Gittins being another. What are your thoughts on the transfer so far? Obviously, we secured the deal with Delap. I thought that's going to strengthen us up top. But what are your thoughts on the transfers? Were you happy with the Minyan situation?
I wasn't very pleased with the Maignan situation because I feel like with the briefs that will come out after the Champions League final week, I feel like there is some lack of clarity in some ways that in terms of how we approach the Maignan situation. We also had to deal with the Liam Delap signings as well. We also had to deal with Hugo Ekitike. We were linked to numerous players before the Club World Cup. We even there was also links even before the Club World Cup that we were linked with Morgan Rogers. We were linked with Rodrigo. We were linked with Osherman again. We were linked with Gyökeres, and I feel like this transfer window before the Club World Cup has been the underwhelming sign of it, because for me, I'm looking at the situation that from Chelsea's perspective, look, even though we want to go as far as we can in the Club World Cup, but I think for us, it's important to get the right players in. And for one of those situations is that goalkeeper. And the thing is for me is that you're not going to win any trophies without having any good goalkeeper. Let's say
Yeah,
hypothetically, if we don't get a good goalkeeper and our centre backs are even the ones that are better than we have right now, then we
yeah,
shouldn't having this conversation in the first place. But then it's unfortunate that we've shot ourselves into bed that we keep low balling, even though we did have a past history that we've been dealing with Milan as well. When they signed Loftus
Yeah,
Cheek from us, when they signed Giroud from us, when they signed Tomori from us, when they signed Pulisic. Look, we've had our history with AC Milan in the past, but at the end of the day, that this Maignan situation is that even though this player it looks a bit older than you guys think, but at the end of the day, he's still a good a good goalkeeper. And
yeah,
the stats have shown you that it's been one of those seasons that okay, he has an off season, but for the last couple of years, like how many mistakes does he make?
yeah,
So we've complained a lot about Sanchez. We've complained a lot how he is appalling in terms of how the build-up play. He might be a good shot stopper, but
yeah, yeah,
he's not a better goalkeeper around goalkeeper that like Mike Maignan.
yeah,
And unfortunately, we missed that badly. Like people said, oh, let's be positive that we're trying to get him for free. We don't have time for that. We got Club World Cup this season. Like, what do you want to do for the Club World Cup? Do you want to win it, or do you want to go as far as you can? Like, that's not my
yeah,
mentality. My mentality is
yeah.
that when you go into
Win,
the competition that we are in right now,
go to
you
win.
want to win it.
Yeah,
Simple as that. And
yeah,
it's been
yeah.
underway.
And the board have shown us up until to this point, the last couple transfer windows, that they're willing to compete, and it seems to me that they're happy with fourth. When you see Bowley and Egbali and Clear Lake and with Stanley coming over at the end of the Nottingham game and they're clapping and they're happy with fourth place. We are not in this Club World Cup to win. We have had an opportunity to strengthen. Do you know how much Minyan would have strengthened the team? Just that one sign alone will give you a back for that much confidence going into this Club World Cup, and you missed it again. And the going rate now is that we didn't want to pay over the odds for him. £4 million, fans, is what we had to
Yeah.
get the deal over the line. £4 million when you paid £25 million for um £25 million for Sanchez and 21 million pounds for Jorgensen, but you've got a world class keeper who's experienced, captain of his team, vice captain of his international team, and you don't want to secure the deal for £4 million, bro. It's absolutely astonishing that we didn't get that over the line, and I feel like this could be the reason why we slip out because tomorrow, going forward, a bit in a moment, we're going to go through the predicted starting lineups for tomorrow. Who's going to start in goal? It's going to be Sanchez, isn't it, brother?
You also forget that we also signed Selena as well. That's about we signed about £50 million goalkeepers for three mediocre goalkeepers.
Yeah,
That just
yeah,
shows that how incompetent we are as a sporting directors. And
yeah,
at some point, like, okay, we've had this issue in the past before. Like we've seen how the director's moving now, penny pinching. What like I've warned this time and time again. I've warned this since the Forest away that when we get into Champions League football, watch the incompetence of these directors start penny pinching of our money in terms of the how we approach the market, and that's
yeah,
the last thing that I do not want to see us doing. And unfortunately, it's not even the 19th of June where the actual transfer window has been open. I've already seen some negative stuff about our sporting directors. It's
yeah,
rightly so.
yeah, yeah, 100%. And the fan base is very divided, brother. I feel like a lot of fans are happy with the lap. A lot of fans are happy with Champions League. A lot of fans are happy with the Club World Cup. But the true fans, the long-standing fans that have probably been fans for longer than 10 years, can we be happy with what's going on? Can we be happy with the board signing all these players but are not going to be involved with the squad for years and years? I'm talking the guy from Sporting Lisbon, Quenda. He looked absolutely phenomenal in the international break. Let's be real. But he's signing players that are not going to be in the squad for 2 years. And now Kenji Pires has come out. We're going to get into that shortly. Has come out and said that he's not happy about not being in the squad, and he's going to be shipped out to Strasbourg. Oh, where's the direction with the club? Where's the planning with the club, brother? Santos, another player that may not be in the plans for next season. I just don't get what's going on with the players you're signing right now. You're signing players that are not going to be part of the plans. Why not use the money? Quenda, you spent £65 million on Quenda. How much is his clubmate going? His teammate is. How much is his teammate going for right now, Guy Corres? Tell me.
About 70,
65.
70, 60, 70, 60, 70. And we tried this tactics
Does it
before
make it
previously, and even when
astonishing?
we were linked with Ekatike, and they said that, oh, we had to pay him over nearly 100 mil.
Yeah.
Why is it always us giving this brief to the media about signing a mediocre players from Bundesliga again? We've
Yeah.
seen this time and time again with Nkunku. I
Yeah.
just don't get it. How this, like, I understand, like, this journalist gonna milk it for money and that, but I'm like,
Yeah.
just go and get me some proven
Yeah.
players before the Club World Cup starts, because I'm looking at
Yeah.
our competitions right now. We probably get knocked out in the quarterfinals, but let's be realistic. But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
my head says we're going out for the quarterfinals, but my heart says I want us to win it, because there's lots of money on the line as well. By the way,
Yeah.
if we win all the 3 games in the group stage, we get nearly 4.5 million, plus the
Yeah.
Conference League win, that's 22, plus the 80 the Champions League win, and we get
Yeah.
to earn what, 19 million quid for the participation in the knockout stage onwards.
Yeah. So it's
That's a
good.
lot of money on the line,
All good
especially
for
for
PSR.
us. Yeah,
Yeah. All good for PSR. The thing is, though, with these, they are not understanding that winning things gets you more profit and more uh gets you profit and gets the PSR books up rather than the signing players and them loaning them out. They don't understand that if you put money into the club to win things, ultimately that's going to earn you more money in the long run. So the mentality of these board members is not right, brother. It's very, very mid-table. It's very profitabilized. They're not bothered about winning, brother. It's clear to see. If you're bothered about winning, you would have gone and done what Man City did. Man City signed 3 top players within a week. They weren't bothered. 8 Nori, they went and signed Tierney Rendes, and they went and signed who else did they sign? Ryan Shirky. They're not playing about, brother. We can't even get a goalkeeper across the line for £24 million, brother. What does that tell you about the mentality of the club? So it's very worrying times. Like I said, the fan base is very divided. A lot of people are positive about what's going on, but myself, brother, I cannot be happy about the signings we've made so far. Delap, obviously, he's got high potential. He done phenomenally well last year. I feel like he's going to take it to the next stage in respective of a striker. But when you're looking for a proven striker which has gone and scored at the top level, it's not that right now, brother. So it's just fingers crossed and hope and pray that he steps up and he can get the numbers for us. But moving on, brother, moving on. Obviously, we've been signed with a lot of strikers. Been linked with a lot of strikers. Etikete, one of them you just mentioned, was obviously very close to securing a deal for Nick Waldermaid. What do you think about him, brother? Have you seen much of him? I've seen a bit of him. 6'6", a lot of box presence. Exactly what we need. Do you think he'd be a good signing for us moving forward?
I fully disagree, because I haven't. The thing is with Walter Mada is that I've seen him bits for him in the European Under-21 Championship. He's not really that moved me a lot than other
Yeah,
strikers would. But my priority has always been Gyökeres, and I've seen the
yeah,
links that he's been also linked with Arsenal as well. Which, funny enough, that they don't want to pay 80 mil, but we want to spend 80 mil for Ekitike. So that just goes to show you that our scouting ID is stinks at our club.
yeah,
Simple as that. Uh,
yeah,
Fair enough. He scored 2 again tonight and assisted 2 goals, but we want someone to come like we want a
yeah,
proper gunman in our team.
yeah, Yeah,
one sign of
yeah,
Liam Delap is not that enough. I think we need
yeah,
more. Like your caress
yeah,
for me, that's the only sensible outcome. I would love to
yeah.
dream with Osman, but I don't know what's gonna happen
Yeah.
to him.
I feel like Gokores is more of it's more of a reasonable target. I feel like Washerman's ways demands. I don't think that's never going to get over the line now. Nick Waldermaid, Tom Man, just going to pop up your comments here. Thank you very much for that. So Nick Waldermaid has scored again tonight and has assisted 2 goals. From what I've seen from last season, he got pretty good. Got stats. I think he got 20 goals in the German league. He's exactly what we need. And I kept to mention it last week when I spoke to Alex. And shout out to Alex as well, who travelled to Atalanta today. Yeah, we need box presence, and he's 6'6". He reminds me a bit of Peter Crouch. Got a big frame, good in the air, and he can finish the chances. I wouldn't be against it at all. I really wouldn't. And I don't think he'd be a starter, but I feel like when you're looking for a striker with different characteristics, a Waldermaid would be that kind of guy. People are thinking I'm mad. I even said Chris Wood would be someone that would fit that bill. I just feel like with your Nicholas Jackson and your Liam Delap, the characteristics of those players are very similar. They like to drop deep, link play up, get wide, etc. But we need a striker like Giroud, for instance, who's going to be playing tomorrow. Somebody who's going to be in the box, getting an end of the balls, getting the headers in when the cross is coming to the box. And we found out last season that Jackson's not that kind of striker. I believe the Lap's not that kind of striker. So when you're playing against some teams with a low block, you like to sit in the box. We haven't got no one to get the ball into. So we need a striker of that caliber. So I wouldn't be fully against the Nick Waldermaid, but I feel like a guy Corres is of the mold of a top striker. Moving forward again, Fats.
I've got a
Obviously
question
going
actually for
to
you. Actually, yeah.
yeah, go on, yeah,
Um,
go on, mate.
for this Club World Cup, how's your feeling going to this competition? Like, are you one of those people like very taking it seriously, like myself, or like what are your expectations with the current squad that we've had going into this competition?
Expectations for me. Obviously we've got to take it seriously, brother. Like you said, there's what is it, £22 million in to be won. £22 million is a lot of money, on the PSR. As well as that, it's the new Club World Cup. We haven't won it yet. And I just want the bragging rights. Obviously, we get that badge on the shirt for 4 years. Imagine that, having that on the shirt for 4 years. That would be phenomenal. But I just feel like Real Madrid, PSG, Bayern, City, those are going to be at the end of they're going to be in the semi-finals. I think we get to the quarter-final, that'll be a success. If you get any further than that, it's a good tournament. I'm just not expecting it. We had the chance to shore up the squad and get better players in to make us a better opposition to go into the Club World Cup, and we haven't done it. Like I said, Manyan, Gittins, and other players we linked with couldn't get across the line. So yeah, the lap obviously has made the attacking options a bit more stronger, but when you look at other teams, brother, we are far behind. So yeah, I think quarterfinals would be a um, realistic decision for us to finish him.
I'll be honest with you, like I call me crazy, but my heart says I want us to win. Like I want us to win. To have that the first English team who have that second. Well, maybe I think we were second English team, but I feel like it. But anyway, I want to have that second Club World Cup trophy. I want to have 2 trophies. This year. This is what I want. Like the winning mentality mindset is that you got to install with these guys. Like, you imagine if we win the Club World Cup this year, is that not only we get the $100 million as well as a prize, but also
Oh,
like you
brilliant.
said, that we have that bragging rights to call ourselves to the champions of the world again for the second time. So
Yeah.
not only that, but also the winning mentality around the club will be more. They be more hungry. They become more hungry when they when these guys getting older, like they'll be more hungry to win. That's what I want us to do. So
Yeah.
we might get caught in a later competition, but I just want to see us commit fully 110%. I don't care if it's
Yeah.
LAFC. I don't care if it's Flamengo from South
Yeah.
America. I don't care if it's a Bayern Munich. I don't care if it's a River Plate from
Yeah.
Argentina team.
Argentina.
I just want us to go out there and express ourselves, to play our football, even though we're not gonna have our fans are not gonna be fully like the whole head's not gonna be fully traveled up there. But I want to see us win. I want to see us to compete, and that's the most important thing. Like even though we won the Conference League, but it was standard competition that we should have won it. But I feel like this one is that we've got a chance to win it. It's just how we're gonna approach it.
Do you think we've got a chance to win it though, Fats? PSG being one of the teams, Real Madrid, City, Bayern. Do you honestly think that we've got a chance to win it?
My heart's saying yes, but my head's saying like, that's the thing that
you need to get your heart.
I want to follow my heart, but my head says like,
you need to get your heart looked at, bro. I'm telling you, when you see PSG and how they absolutely cooked, chef, deep fried teams last year, bro. We come up against the PSG. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, sometimes maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but it's like I understand there's some money as well on the line, but it feels like I want us to have that second trophy, but we'll see, innit? We'll see.
Yeah, just we've got to, like I said, I'm feeling the positivity. Every time we talk, Fats, love the positivity, love the confidence, bro. And for you to say that we still might be in a chance of it, brother, I feel it. And you never know. We've got to be optimistic about it. But when you look at it in the grand scheme of things, brother, when you see PSG, Real Madrid, City, a lot stronger than us in there with the players they've got. So they'd be favourites, but you just never know. You just never know. Please remind yourself to hit the likes. I'm gonna put that up.
Yeah, hit the lights, guys.
Hit the likes. So we're gonna get a screen up now with the teams that are competing. Get the teams up now with the teams competing. We're gonna go through some of the teams that are in there. Let me just share the screen for you.
Yeah.
And I'm liking the comment, Christian, once again. Kevin spreading negativity as always. I have not once today spreading any negativity. I'm just being honest. So, Christian, do you believe? This question for you. Do you believe that we're favourites? Do you believe we've got a chance of winning it? Just be honest. If you say yes, that's your opinion. But for me personally, bro, we're not going to be the favourites, unfortunately. But that's my opinion. That's not me being negative. That's how I see it. So let me share this screen. Give me 1 second. Share screen. We're going to have a look at the teams that are going to be key to competing with us. Okay. So back on. Okay. So can everyone see it out?
Yeah, I can see it now.
Okay. So you can see that. Yeah. Can you see it clear, Fats?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So we're going to go into Group A of the Club World Cup. So we've got Palmeiras from Brazil, FC Porto, Al Ali, Egypt, Inter Miami, United States. We're going to Group B. We've got Paris Saint-Germain, Atletico Madrid from España. We've got Botafogo from Brazil, Seattle Sounders from USA. Going to Group C, we've got FC Bayern Munich, Auckland City. Bayern Munich won 10-0 tonight, by the way. We've got Boca Juniors from Argentina, Benfica from Portugal, and we're going to Group D. Flamengo from Brazil, Sportif de Tunis from Tunisia, Chelsea Football Club from England, obviously Chelsea Football Club ourselves, Los Angeles FC USA, Group E, River Plate from Argentina, Irada Red Diamonds from Japan, CFA Montreal Mexico, Inter Milan Italy, Group F, Fluminense from Brazil, Borussia Dortmund, Ulsan HD from Korea, Mamelodi Sundowns from South Africa. Group G. There's a lot of groups here. Man City, Wydad, LA from UAE, Juventus, and the final group: Real Madrid, Al Hilal, Croatia, and
Pachuca.
Strasbourg.
Pachuca. Hmm.
Yeah, so that's the format of the groups of the Club World Cup. So quite interesting. That is actually a lot of teams going into it, man. Teams that haven't even won the Champions League. So, in fact, do you know the reason why there's Benfica, Porto, Juventus? What are the reasons for having these teams
The
in that
reason why
bracket?
they're in it because of the UEFA coefficient rankings. So they selected some of the coefficient rankings after the top 10. So that's why some of the clubs that you might not familiar with that are in there, they're in there. So yeah.
Okay, all right. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff.
Mhm.
So,
I've got a
we just
question for you actually. Like,
yeah, go on.
do you think the fans kind of panicking a little bit in some ways that after we fell out with Mike Maignan and the fact that people have been kind of giving doubts um whether Maresca is really the one that pulled the trigger or not.
I don't think it's Maresca at all.
Yeah.
Maresca wants experience, and I feel like Manyan fits that bill. It's just a lot of to and fro with in respect of the negotiations, and Chelsea being very stubborn of recent under clear late that they don't want to pay over the odds. But it's very contradictory when you consider you paid £25 million for Sanchez, you paid £21 million for Jorgensen, you paid
Yeah.
£67 million for Kenda. So they've
Hmm.
overspent on other players, but you can't pay an extra £4 million on a top stopper, top keeper like Menyan. So there's going to be a lot of narrative on Maresca pulling the plug and etc. But we all know the reason why. The board members haven't got it in them to sign quality. It's happened in the past. Osherman last season, last summer, when we were so close to getting a deal overnight and it didn't get across, and they couldn't agree his wages. So it's happening quite often, brother. We all know the reason why we are flopping on signings. It's nothing to do with management. It's to do with the board members, and like I said, the penny pinching, and they don't want to pay over the odds. But it's contradicting because we all know they go and spend a lot of money on other players. If they're under 21, they'll spend X amount, and they'll go and spend 60, 70 million pounds. But when it comes to a 29-year-old stopper which can elevate your team, let's be real, they won't do it. So, yeah, my thoughts on that is we're not over exaggerating, but it is a time to panic, brother, because at the end of the day, we've had 7 transfer windows under these under Clear Lake, and look where we are now, brother. The majority of the players that they've signed are not even in the squad now. Felix, Viega, not in the squad. Sterling, not in the squad. We've got there's millions of pounds of a talent that they've brought in. They're not even in the squad. You've got Nkinku that's not happy. You've got Bada Shield, the Sassy. Can we really be happy with what's going on?
Exactly
Yeah,
that. And my worry
yeah,
thing is that I feel like this Maignan news is gonna keep it's gonna be the talking point for the whole summer. Let alone, let's say if we lose off one of the games, or maybe we get knocked out in the Club World Cup, maybe I could go back and then say that I think that is where we lose the chance to win that competition. It's going to haunt us badly, and the
I've
way
got
that
your view in the
we
comments there.
we look, it's not
Jenksy said the same thing.
absolute.
That's not
We
Jenksy.
what the question is that needs to be asked is that what were we doing the week prior to the Club World Cup? Were we actually doing some negotiation behind the scenes? Why do we always lowballing stuff like, oh,
Yeah,
this should be we value this player, we should value this player.
yeah.
What you mean, man? Like, you pay the money, like, stop penny pinching. Is that simple. And this is why I feel like I warn people about the Champions League football, because 18 we earn a lot. Don't get me wrong, we earn a lot of money from making that Champions League football. But
Yeah.
what are we doing with that money? And that's the question.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we've seen us previously doing some overspend money on unproven potentials that's going to be good in the next couple of years. I don't even know how many signings that we've had that were going to be a world class next couple of years. Let's not forget Kendrick Price just he just joined us
Yeah.
for the club World Cup, but he's not actually in the squad, but he's actually there just to train with the
Yeah.
squad.
Yeah.
He might go to Strasbourg to go on loan again. I have no
Yeah.
idea what Santos going to be look like in the Club World Cup. People already
Yeah.
overhype him like he's the second coming of baby Casemiro.
Yeah.
Like again, like even when I read the news that about the excuse come out already, if I may read it out for you, is that one of the
Yeah.
sources that close to me where the lads literally just let me read that again for you. Is that one of the players has warned that the squad are knackered from last season, and even though they will try their best in the matches, they're all just looking forward to the break. And
Yeah.
this is the thing that I really worry about, where these kind of news that, like, I don't know who leaked that kind of news to the media, but it's not a good look on us
Yeah.
that we've had. Look, at the end of the day, every other teams that play in the stages of the European competition gonna have it. Even PSG, Inter Milan, us.
Yeah.
We like. Why are we making excuse already about?
Yeah. It's
I just don't
just,
get it.
bro. When you think about it, bro. When you think about it, you got players who's so hungry to play for his club. For the last 2 years, he's probably dreamt. He's probably woke up in his soul shirt thinking, I can't wait for the day to play for this club. You got Nkunku that wants to be at the club and cannot wait to leave, but you choose Nkunku over him. Where I don't believe for 1 second that this was Maresca doing this. I believe Nkunku, they want to start him, play him, to increase his transfer value to sell him on after the Club World Cup. So you'd rather have that miserable person in the changing rooms than a player that wants to be there. None of it makes sense. And this is not a Maresca. Most of the decisions made within this team and this squad are not a Maresca, bro. And this is what we've got to understand. Maresca is just there and he's just a yes man. And it's really bad that he's been scapegoated all the time in the media, always gets put out by the decisions on him. And it's clear to see that it's not, because Maresca's already said that he doesn't want Nkunku a part of the team. He left him out for how many games towards the back end of the season. All of us are now, you're going to ship players somewhere else, and you're not going to bring him into the Club World Cup squad. And Nkunku, just nothing makes sense, brother. Nothing makes sense. It really is embarrassing from all embarrassing from all fronts. But end of the day, we've got to take it. But this is what Chelsea are about now. Yeah, but yeah, man, we're gonna just
Do you know?
touch on a couple.
Can I ask you
Yeah,
again? Like, would
yeah,
there be any risk of us of our players getting that injury as well? And I don't know if you were watching the game yesterday of the opener game, the Al Ahly into Miami game.
yeah.
I've already seen two players getting off injured. Do you think that there is some, let's say, little bit of concern that maybe some of these players are really that knackered or gonna they are scared to get injured like that,
Oh,
or they're gonna have to go through it then?
100%, brother. 100%. That this thing, you've just finished a long, long season, and you're now competing within a couple of weeks after. But no time to rest. They've had internationals in between as well. Let's be real. So they finished the season, gone straight to internationals, and then straight to America. It's a recipe for disaster, bro. There's going to be injuries. I just feel like with the size of the squads, you can rotate. Maybe players that haven't played many minutes can play the group stages. I feel like we're not going to see a strong team in the group stages. It'd be very stupid to. You're playing against them. Is it LAX? What's it? What are they called?
LAFC, yeah.
LAFC. playing
Hmm.
against mid teams. I feel like we need to rest the stronger players. We will go into the starting lineup very shortly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Predict
Hmm.
the starting lineup, but I feel like it's a recipe for disaster. You feel like these lads need a break. The human beings, they've travelled the world, they've played international football in Europe, they've played how many Premier League games, and now gone to international break and then gone to another tournament. It's not fair for them. And what we don't need to happen is they're getting injuries now before pre-season, because that then knocks you back tenfold. Going into pre-season with injuries, without injury record, is going to knock us back to the start of the season. So I feel like Maresca needs to be very smart with the players that he's picking in the group stages. Maybe for the next week to start a few young players, a few fringe players, give Santos an opportunity, Dewsbury Hall, and then towards the latter stages, maybe bring on the big guns. But from now, we need to rest up a few players. Give me 1 second. We're gonna let's go into a bit of a. So is it LAFC? Is it? We're gonna go into the
LAFC. Yeah.
LAFC squad. Give me 1 second. We're gonna have a look.
All I know,
Yeah.
they got Giroud and Hugo Lloris in goal.
Who?
Hugo Lloris in goal, the
Oh, you go.
Tottenham
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
goalkeeper.
yeah. You got this. Yes, yes, yes. We're just gonna LAFC squad. Give me 1 second. Let me share this screen. So we're going to go into a bit of a preview now. We're going to talk about the LAFC squad. We're going to talk about our predicted lineups, and then we're going to go into some latest transfer news. After, give me 1 minute. Let me present this screen to you. Just before we do that, we're going to go into the comments as well. Everybody, how are we feeling? The question is, how are we feeling about winning the Club World Cup? Everybody, a quick question. How are we feeling about winning the Club World Cup? Do you feel like we've got a chance of winning it? Honestly, um, obviously, Fats thinks his heart's telling him yes, but his mind's telling him no, which I've got to give him credit for being confident. But how are we feeling about the Club World Cup? Have we got a chance of winning it? Because we've got PSG in there, we've got Bayern, we've got Real Madrid. How are we feeling about winning the Club World Cup? I'm just going to share the screen very quickly. 1 second. Screen. Okay. Los Angeles FC. Okay, so the LA team here. Pats, can you see that, mate?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, so we've got just going to look through, see if we can recognize any players there. So we've got Hugo Lloris, ex-Tottenham
Hmm.
stopper. We've got Oliver Giroud, legend of the club. Any more players that recognize?
No, not a lot. Only those two that are ex Premier League players. Barely
Yeah.
recognize him.
Wow. I'm looking through the squad here.
That, that's an unknown
Wow.
quantity as well.
Wow.
So
Wow. That team is it's like another UEFA Conference League opposition, basically, brother.
yeah,
With
exactly. They're
one
sat. They're
old
sat. They're sat in fifth in the MLS table.
yeah,
So yeah,
39-year-old striker Giroud.
Mm.
So how are we feeling about tomorrow's game, people? Do we feel like we're gonna smash LAFC? A newly formed team as well, and not long formed. Do we feel like we're gonna smash LAFC? Predicted lineup. Someone Fats going into tomorrow's game. Predicted lineup. What would you start considering that we're playing against a very mid team? Would you risk? Would you risk the big guns and make a bit of a stance, or would you start
Okay.
the second team, let's say, and
So
give the better players a better
yeah,
opportunity to find their feet in fitness in the group stages? What do you feel? What are you feeling?
it's a good question actually. So based on the team that we've seen in the window, um, I would start Robert Sanchez in goal. That's absolutely.
Oh,
Right, but I'm gonna go with Malo Gusto, and then I'm gonna have Tosin tossing and Badiashile, and even though people might hate it when I say Badiashile, but Colby just got back from the national break, so I'll give him a bit of rest.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're not going to have any choice of starting Cucurella, have we? So we're going to have to start him regardless. And then on the left, on the middle side of things, I'm not sure whether Enzo and Caseta are already back. I would keen on start Lavia and Santos in the middle, and I would go for Tariq George on the left, Keenan Dewsbury Hall on the middle, and then Pedro Neto on the right, and probably Nkunku up top. Sadly.
So you'd start Nkunku, would you? And what's the reasoning with that then?
Just purely when I look at Jackson, like even for me, Jackson just came back from the England Senegal game. I would try the lap. That's a good question. I would try the lap, but I haven't seen enough of him. You know what? We'll go for the lap. Actually, yeah, we'll go actually for the lap.
Nkunku, brother. I don't. Wow, bro.
I don't know. That striker's option, like, yeah, that striker's option is like kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe he start the lap. I don't know. He start the lap or Nkunku. We just don't know. But my expectation would be he's probably going to start Nkunku then the lap.
Yeah. Yeah. So
that's what I think of Maresca. That's what I think what Maresca going to do. But I could be wrong.
Yeah. I feel like if Nkunku starts, that's not Maresca. That's not Maresca's choice, because we seen it towards the end of the last season. He never started one game. He wasn't even in the squad for most games. So for him to just turn up in the plans in a club competition, I feel like they're trying to increase his value. But that's the only reason I could feel like, he has a few games of the Club World Cup. He looks like the old player again, and some team comes in and puts £30 million in for him. I feel like right now, with the performances late, they're not going to get much from him. But if he has a good run now in the Club World Cup, you never know.
The thing is, I agree with you on that, Kev, but I feel like on Friday we have to start our strongest team. On Friday, that's why I feel like then we get to see maybe Palmer in there, and then Madueke, and then Neto in there. That's why I feel like I would save the main players that's still in the international break. Just the thing is, we could go 2-0 up in the tomorrow anyway, and we just literally just throw out some random academy players in there.
Yeah,
that's why I feel like, okay, get the first game 2-0 up, win. I don't really care if it's like that boring. That for me, the most important thing is that Friday, because Friday it's literally probably one of the toughest game in the group so far. That's the Flamengo ones. That's really worrying me.
Just like Jordan says, and shout out Jordan, big up, man. You are always on without doubt, man. We respect you, mate, for the consistency coming on. Yeah, man. Flamengo on Friday. Decent side. I'm sure David Luiz plays from, don't they?
They should have David Luiz plays in there. You got they got the ex-Juventus left back Alessandro as well. They got Jorginho in there as well. Felipe Luis is the manager as well. So
so a lot of ex-Chelsea links there. Going to be a difficult game with no doubt. Brazilian teams never underestimate.
These South American teams, they're not pushovers though. They really can.
You know what it is? Because it's the style of football. They have the freedom to play. It's not structured. It's just they get the wingers and they run down the pitch, and they want to make things happen. So it's not going to be an easy game. So you are right. I feel like tomorrow we start a weakened squad, and Friday we start a bit of a stronger squad. Hopefully we get the win. We should be getting the win tomorrow. If we get the win against Flamengo, that's it. We're through. Then we can probably start another weakened squad in the following game. Going to finish up now. We're the last 15 minutes of the show. Please do not forget to smash the likes, everybody. We have 82 in the room. Can we get up to 50 likes? 50 likes for me and Fats coming on a Sunday night. And shout out to all the dads as well, man. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day as well to people.
Shout out to all the dads today. I've had my son draw a picture of me and stuff. It's been a good day. So shout out to all the dads as well. We're just going to go into some comments though. We're going to go into pies. We're going to go into some latest news of Chelsea. One being some comments made by our new man Liam Delap. So just give me 1 second. Let me present the screen for yourself. So we're gonna go on to Chelsea Pies. Give me 1 sec. Okay. Can you see that, Fats?
Yeah.
You see that, yeah? Okay. So I'm gonna go with some comments from Liam Delap after he's had his first interview with the club. Give me 1 second. Let me find him.
You might as well just search
on
it.
Chelsea
1
Dodgers.
second. I think I can find it for you.
It's on Chelsea. I'm one of them. Now, what we'll do is we'll go to the Kenji Pires topic first. Right. So Kenji Pires, a player that we all knew was going to be coming to Chelsea for the Club World Cup, and a lot of us were getting our hopes built up, and all of a sudden now he's at the squad and he's getting flown over anyway. Bit confusing, the whole situation. What are your thoughts on the Kenji Pires situation, Fats? Obviously, he's been left at the squad. We've chosen Nkinku over him. There's been speculation that he's not happy with it. Do you feel that he'd be more better used than Nkinku in the Club World Cup? And obviously, what are your thoughts on him? Do you feel like he'll bring something to the table next season? Do you feel like he'll even be here? Do you think you're better on loan or here? What are your thoughts on Kenji Pires?
I think eventually Kendrick Price will end up in Strasbourg, unfortunately enough. And
Yeah.
the fact that for me, people are just hyping up for no reason, just goes to show that I genuinely think that people have just bought into this high signing because they're watching the comps or whatever. But again, I feel like he's gonna go to Strasbourg, develop himself, and then eventually he will not make it into the first team, and then will get sold for profit.
So you just feel like he's just one of them siders where he's just going to be lingering around and then he ends up getting sold on.
Yeah,
It's a
definitely.
waste, isn't it, bro? I really feel like, what are we doing, bro? Really, what are we doing, man? It's bad. And I'm just going to present some just on this Chelsea Dodgers. Just, yeah, got it here. So it's understood that Kenji Pye's performance will be to be around Chelsea's first team next season. The club is considering what is best for his progress. Andre Santos has been used as an example for how temporary state surgery can be beneficial. And when you look at it like that, it does make sense. But we was under the impression that players would be a part of the plans, and even plans for us for the Club World Cup. And for him to be left out, I could see his frustrations there. I could see his frustrations.
Definitely.
So another question for yourself, Fats, as well. We're coming into the last bit of the show. Thank you everyone for locking in as well. So obviously, with transfers moving forward, obviously we still got a long transfer window. We've got to the 31st of July. If you could sign 3 players, one from the midfield, one from the defense, one from the midfield, one from the striker positions, who would they be and why? Okay, and that's the key question. Why? Okay, so obviously we want to strengthen. We've got a Champions League campaign. From each position, who would you sign and why? Please give me those thoughts.
The centre back one's a bit tricky for me. I'll keep the centre back as it is. I'm pretty sure that the chat will throw me some players in there, but I can't even think one. The left back is really worrying me a lot.
So Joe Hatto from Ajax, obviously he can play left back and centre back. Wouldn't he be? Uh, sorry to interrupt. This made me laugh. Yeah. But Joe Hatto from Ajax, he can play left back as well as centre back. Wouldn't that be someone you'd be interested in, or would you go for someone a bit more experienced?
I'm not really watching him that much. I haven't seen much Hato, so I can't even judge him. I don't know, because I feel like There's some left backs out there that we could have signed. Even at one point, we were linked with what, Theo Hernandez. We were linked with Theo Hernandez one time, but
Oh
we
yeah,
never
and
really.
he can pick him up for 13 million euros. I'm hearing. I'm sure
There you
Atletico
go.
Madrid have 13 million euros.
Mm.
That's because obviously his contract's running out. I'm sure Atletico Madrid have agreed terms there, but they're holding out for Andy Robinson apparently because that's their first choice. That's their first choice. But would it be a left back over a centre back? So you got to. Would it be a centre back? Who would you want to strengthen? Because obviously we need to strengthen at the back. Would it be a couple of defensive players coming out? So obviously we've got Badashile, we've got um Disaster. He's coming out of the mix. So would it be the left back position? Where would you strengthen? Please give me your thoughts.
I would strengthen left back first, because even if we didn't get Hato, maybe let alone Theo, that is where I feel like it's much more important than the centre back. The centre back, where this is a bit techie. I look at players out there that literally like, who can be the next Thiago Silva. I don't really see much options out there. Like, we were linked with Dean Huijsen, but he already went to Madrid.
Yeah,
Um, I thought we are gonna get one of the Inter Milan players like Bastoni in there as a centre back, but
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
It's a
Um,
long shot, isn't it?
Other than that, the midfield will probably be Morgan Rogers. That's the name I can throw down with.
So
And
your top priority midfielder being Morgan Drummond. Morgan Drummond's not exactly a centre. So in Cam as backup to Palmer,
yeah,
you go for Morgan Rogers.
yeah, Morgan Rogers in there, and then probably Gyökeres or Osimhen up front.
Yeah. So defensive
And
player, it'd be
probably
Bastoni.
like
Yeah.
probably Rodrigo in there. Rodrigo.
Yeah. So we've been linked to Crystal Palace's Mark Mark Gehi. Gehi. Wouldn't he be someone that you'd be interested in? Do you believe that he's got the potential to step up and be a potential step up to be a Champions League potential player, or do you believe he's not at the caliber that we're looking for?
Probably he's more of a squad player in my opinion. He's not going to be a starter.
Yeah.
That's what really worries me, is that I don't know if the chat can name me out there like a proven player other than Bastoni. That's
Yeah.
that's my dream target. Bastoni is that type
Dream.
of player.
Absolute dream. And I said the same thing. And someone said in the chat a few weeks ago, Kev, you in Dreamland thinking of Bastoni. But I've been a Chelsea fan all my life. I've seen us go and sign Marcel Desailly, Frank Leboeuf. The list goes on. Ricardo Carvalho, William Gallas, Marcel Desailly. The list can go on and on and on. We've gone and signed world-class strikers forever. And all of a sudden now we're going for mid-youth players. We've got to sign this Mohamedou, whatever his name is, some Strasbourg defender.
Mohamed Sarr is
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
18-year-old kid.
What is okay? I can't really judge because I haven't seen much of him. But wow, how many French centre backs do you need? How many mid centre backs do we need? When are they going to wake up and say, you know what, Levo Colwell, he's got the potential. He needs someone next to him to guide and influence him to move forward. And we're still going and signing mid players, bro. So I just really want us to go and get a Bastoni or even a Jimenez from Atletico Madrid. There's so many quality centre backs you can go and get in the market at the moment, and we still yet to go and get one. So it's very worrying, very very worrying. Obviously with the outs as well, facts. Obviously, so that's the ins. What players have been prior to get out? So obviously we've got a massive squad that we've bought. Who would the players that you'd be looking to shift on straight away?
Probably in Kunku, I would ship him out straight away.
Yeah,
Um, there's lots of players that we're gonna get off the books. Raheem Sterling, probably the hardest one out there. Ben Chilwell, probably the second hardest out there. I think the
yeah,
Sassy eventually gonna get sold. I'm looking at the Jao Felix as well, gonna get sold.
yeah.
I think Slanina as well. I think eventually gonna get sold. Who else on that team is that? Probably Um, Jadon Sancho already went back to United. Yeah, that's probably. I think Sanchez eventually gonna get sold, either Sanchez or Petrovic. So
Yeah,
that's my ideal scenario of it.
yeah. And what are your thoughts of Nicholas Jackson? So news coming out about Nicholas Jackson, and being concerned of his long-term future. Obviously, he knows he's not going to be the main man. If a potential deal to come into Nicholas Jackson, would you keep or would you look to get rid of Jackson?
If there's money coming for Jackson, I would sell him straight away. 100%. That's
Yeah,
for that's my
yeah.
money for
Wow,
to get a better striker than him.
that's harsh.
That let's be honest. If there's an opportunity for us to get Gilchrist and we still have to sell Jackson, I'll take that on a heartbeat
Yeah,
all
yeah,
day long. We need
100%.
we just need someone that can score a goal. As much as people will bragging about Jackson score 15 goals, well,
Yeah,
newsflash, like you're gonna have to score at least 20 goals to be like a top striker in this league. It's simple
yeah,
as that. He had some of his sluggish moments. Like I'm sorry, like how many times that we're gonna have to get these mediocre players in right now? Like we can't do that anymore.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Facts, bro. Absolute facts, bro. And the thing is, as well, I kept saying, is this guy has had 2 years as being the main guy. And it's not like he's not had opportunities, bro. He fluffs many opportunities on a game by game. He go 23 hours without scoring a goal. There's not strikers in the lower leagues that do that, bro. Not good enough. So obviously it's his own fault. There's no one to be blamed apart from himself. I think now the lapsing, his head's going to be turned, isn't it? He's going to be worried now. But it's his own fault. If he come up with the goods last season, I'm sure the lap would have come in and made it. He would have been second choice. Jackson would have made the position his own, but he hasn't made it his own. He's gonna let us down the last couple of games of the season, getting sent off. It's all on his head, I'm afraid. Just gonna finish up though, Fats.
Yeah,
Who would be your favourites? Favourite for the Club World Championships? Them obviously, there's some big teams in there. Portuguese teams, Italian teams, Spanish. Who would be the favourite for you? Hand on the heart. You've already said Chelsea, but be realistic now. Who would be the favourite for the Club World Championships? Fans as well. So everyone in
I'm
the
gonna
chat,
I'm
who
gonna
would be
go.
your favourite?
I'm gonna be a surprising pick here. I'll pick Man City.
Man City.
Yeah,
Why do you believe Man City be favourites when you've
I
got
just purely
PSG,
because that window that they had like three players in the space of 5 days. That is crazy.
strong players
That's
as
the
well?
level of negotiation that I want us to see, just to wrap it up just
Yeah,
before the Club World Cup.
yeah,
And I feel like with that team, Man City can cause a lot of big teams major problems.
yeah. That
Especially they
right.
got they
Yeah,
got Pep Linders as well, and the
yeah.
fact that they got Ryan Cherky in that team, they got Tian Randers and also Eight Nuri. Boy,
Wow.
we're gonna
Yeah,
have a lot of issue to see Man
brilliant.
City. That
Absolutely
I think they
amazing
will
stuff.
go far in the Club World Cup.
Yeah,
I think the probably toughest game probably against one of the South American teams that, let alone I don't know, maybe River Plate or Boca Juniors, if they gonna meet them some in the latter stage of the competition. So
yeah,
so yeah, Man City for me they're the favorite.
yeah. Well, good opinion there. I believe that PSG, honest fit PSG, I think coming off the Champions League, they will be confident. The way they play the football as well. I mean, Vitinha,
Yeah,
João Neves,
absolutely.
yeah, I just feel like PSG for me. And Tom Mann's done me a massive favour there. He's actually put on the odds as well. So Real Madrid, the favourites at 4-1, PSG 9-2, Man City third, 5-1, Bayern 7-1, Chelsea 11-1. So we're at a long shot at 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth choice, which is I'd say that quarterfinals is in the round where we should be. But PSG, just the way they absolutely took Inter Milan to the cleaners, in the last game. Very, very impressive, and I feel like they'd be favourites for me just because of that. But yeah, we're just going to round it out there. We're going to round it out there. What a show it's been. Thank you for the people in the chat. Thank you very much for Fats for joining on as well.
Definitely, guys. Make sure you subscribe and don't forget Chelsea Fan TV as well to subscribe. And hopefully we'll see some of the review for tomorrow's game. And yeah,
Yep.
man, onwards to the Monday night game. It feels weird for us to watch a game on a Monday night, but hey, we're used to it anyway. So yeah.
Yeah, and Jordan Evans, once again, PSG dominated Atletico Madrid 4-0 to today's game. So yeah, PSG definitely favourites. But yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out everyone for jumping on again. Shout out Jordan. Shout out to everybody. And interesting game tomorrow. Hopefully we get the win. Start in the right frame of mind going into the latter stages. Big up everybody. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and up the Chelsea.
Peace.